Leo. We're going live today on YouTube, on Twitter, LinkedIn, etc. Um, let's see. No, yeah, there you go. We're going live across the platforms. I've been working on a framework, make it easy to do spaces and lives together at the same time. So hopefully I've cracked that code. Hopefully I am able to host a space, talk to people in real time, have that captured and then shared. Wait, and then shared onto YouTube, etc. So if you're pulling up, if you're saying what's up, hey, what's up, how you doing? This is really kind of me more or less experimenting with this new live streaming setup, but it's also a way for me to actually talk about something that I like to talk about, which is blockchain technology. So if anybody has a question, if you're wanting to understand this a little bit more, this is actually a great opportunity for you to come up. We could talk about that. You can post your questions in the comments. You can come up and jump on the call with me if you wanted to actually come in and talk. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So more or less, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for showing up. I'm Dennis. A little bit about me. I'm the co-founder of a community called the Mindful Degens. I'm the only one that's still active though. And more or less I'm focused on creating a content that people find appealing. I think that's really what most content creators are trying to do. But aside from making content, I'm actually trying to help onboard people into the space. I'm trying to set the expectations the right way when it comes to what blockchain is, what crypto is, NFTs, etc. Part of my problem is that so many people get onboarded into these technologies through grifty projects or investment opportunities, their friends, etc. They get raked into it. I've worked on the inside. I've worked in marketing. I've helped market NFT projects and communities. Um, and I've seen, from post mint, pre mint, etc. Like I've been there on all stages of it, and it's just one of those things that I saw the inside of, and even some of the projects that I thought were legit, were great, and some of the like even the most legit projects practice some of the dumbest, crappiest marketing strategies that could ever be conceived, and it's disheartening and it's sad. So as a content creator, and not even as a content creator, as a content marketer, because that's really what I am. But I end up creating content because I care, and I'll get into that. As a content marketer, there's a lot of opportunity that exists, and a lot of marketers know that. Even if they're not necessarily content marketers, they know that there's opportunity that exists in making blog posts and making social media videos for Reels or for TikTok or for whatever. They understand that. Even if they don't know how it works, they just know that making content is what you need to do. So we end up with, thousands of videos on YouTube of how to set up a MetaMask account or how to buy your first cryptocurrency or how to buy an NFT. But all of that content ends up being created by people that want you to buy their NFT, that want you to buy their cryptocurrency. So they don't actually have the sadly, they don't have the laurels, they don't have the virtues to educate people properly. They only tell people enough to get them and convince them to do the thing that they want them to do, and then they kind of just like leave it up to them to figure out the rest. And that's, again, like as a content marketer, that's really sad for me because I like to help brands, I like to help small businesses leverage how they use content to establish a identity for themselves, to make an impression, to actually affect change in some way, shape, or form with their customers, and within their community. So when I see projects that only make enough content to get people to set up a MetaMask account just so they could go and buy their tokens, and then they kind of just drop it from there and they stop, that really is like a disservice to me because most of this content is going to end up getting deleted. Most of this content lives on somebody's website or blog that is going to end up getting deleted at some point in time because they're going to stop caring about it. They're only running the project enough to make money on it, and once they stop making money on it or they don't make any money on it, then they're going to stop paying the bills, and the web server is going to take their files offline because they're going to stop paying the fucking bills. So you have a lot of this content that exists right now, just insurmountable amounts of content. But I would wager that 50-60% of that content is going to be gone within the next couple years, because the people that are making the content aren't going to keep up with it, and they're usually only doing it as a short-term marketing activity and not for the long-term benefit, which is sad again too, because when you understand content marketing, you understand that being able to make a video now in the short term, or make a blog post now, but to do it the right way and to treat it the right way, can be something that not only allows you to make an impact in the short term, but allows you to make an impact in the long term. And when I talk long term, I'm talking like 2 years, 5 years, right? Think about when you go on Google and you click on random articles, excuse me, and you pick up an article and you look at it and you find out that like the original version of that article was made in like 2012. So what's happening there is that article is probably generated, if it's been around for 10 years and it's something that's popping up on the first page of Google for a term that you're searching for, that article has probably generated 1 million page views over the last 10 years to that website, just for that article alone. So when you start thinking about it like that, you start realizing that and when you understand that most people don't care about that, most people don't have most of these projects that exist in the Web3 space and blockchain and NFTs and crypto projects, they don't have the desire to stick around for a long time. So with that, they don't think long term. They don't think 2, 3, 4, 5 years. So they don't think about how they could be making other types of content that could, aside from helping their community members get a MetaMask account set up, aside from that kind of stuff, they don't think about what else they could be doing, what other types of content they could be creating. They could be creating content that allows them to talk about security in the space, how to protect yourself, how to protect your assets, how to protect your wallet. I'm starting to work with a company here next week, and I'll talk about more about it then. But like, it's a Web3 security startup, and they offer solutions to help protect your assets in a Web3 way, not a Web2 way, not through browser extensions or your standard centralized mechanisms, like in a pure Web3 way, relying on code. Incredibly secure, incredibly nuanced in terms of how it's approaching this privacy, this macro privacy challenge that we're facing. So very exciting to be able to work with them. But again, like, that's the stuff, like, there's companies out there, these projects should be making content focused on how to be safe, how to protect your bags, how to identify crappy investment opportunities, right? Like, you don't have to go out of your way to like shill an opportunity that you think is going to be great. You don't have to go out of your way to grab sponsors that are fly by night opportunists. Like, you don't have to work with those people, but what you can do is, at the very minimum, showcase what to identify. And that doesn't have to be construed as investment advice if you're just more or less teaching people how to identify certain flags and how to critically think. I think that's the kind of stuff that this space is really missing. So that's more or less why I got into creating content, because I plan a lot of content, I help produce a lot of content, but you just kind of got to get your hands dirty. You got to do it yourself. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm about. That's the life that I choose to live. And yeah. And I'm streaming right now. Not a single person is pulled up, and it's all good. Let's see who messaged my group. Let's see. It's all good, fam. There we go. Drop this link real quick. Bing bong. I can't do that, huh? Share link. Oh wow, it doesn't let me paste into the thingy. That's really crazy. Let me just do it from my regular. Let's pop out of here. Let's go back to our feed. Bing bong. Okay. Back to the Twitter. and dropping it up in here. There we go. All right. So now I'm live. Well, I've been live, but now hopefully we can get a couple people that will pop up into the space, and maybe at least one or two people that will come by and actually chit chat. Ooh. I just realized too, I'm posting from the Mindful Degens account. Let me switch sides real quick. Skibidoo up, bop bop. Man, can we talk about how fucking cringy fucking Twitter is? I'm going through and I'm like, god damn, like some of this shit is just really ridiculously cringe. I can't stand it. Okay. I wonder how many people are on Twitter versus how many people are on other platforms, what the differentiation is between the platforms. How many people are on Twitter that are really into Web3 and NFTs versus or rather, how many people are in Twitter Spaces, and then break that down by the number of actual or the differentiation of subject matter between the spaces. So if there's 100 spaces going on, how many different categories are there? How many total people are there? And what's the distribution of people amongst the categories? I would venture to say that a majority of the people that are into spaces on Twitter are into spaces that are into cryptocurrency, NFTs, etc., and not so much any of the other. I would say there's probably like 60%. That's my guess. Is about 60% as spread. Enjoying that one. Good. Vamir is enjoying it. She's enjoying the space from earlier. I gotta get this fucking mic placement perfect because I'm tired of like blowing into it. I could hear just a little bit of like I can monitor myself a little bit so I could hear a little bit. But god damn, it's annoying whenever I breathe into it all weird. I don't know where my fucking people are at. It's crazy. Where are they at? Vermeer's the only one. Where are you guys at? Making me say, well, it's fucking, what is it, Thursday? People are probably doing things. What's up, Alex? You sexy motherfucker. I'm exploring and experimenting a new live stream method, which will allow me to simultaneously live stream to Twitter Spaces. So, like, what you're hearing right now is what they hear in Twitter Spaces, but I can also live stream to YouTube, etc., and not have to deal with the lag or have to deal with audio overlap or anything like that. It's taken me quite a bit of time to do this. But I think I finally got it. And so starting on Monday, it's going to be great because I'm going to actually start doing live streams. I'm going to be hitting news, I'm going to be pulling up screenshots, going to be running through videos, etc. Have the actual Twitter space itself, you're running concurrently alongside this, but both taking the same audio input and splitting it. As that's the focus, that's the goal, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it, honestly. Oh man. So I just need somebody to come into my fucking space and talk with me. So that's what we're doing right now. Is we're on the prowl for somebody to come into my space. Let's call Kit. Let's call Kit real quick and get her up in the space. Bam. Okay, so I've tested the running it to the Twitter space. I've tested that by itself and checked the audio. So I should be good with my audio here. Like people listening from Twitter should hear pretty much uncompromised, uncompressed audio. And going into StreamYard, it also should be really clean, and that should take a copy of what's going into StreamYard and push it right out to Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch. What's up, Baroness? How do I sound? Come up here. I hit you with that invite. I need your feedback, and I need you to talk so I can see if it captures it nicely for the video that I'm
Like a
recording.
canary.
Cool. And I heard you. Okay, so did you hear what I'm doing? Did you see what I'm doing?
No, I did not.
Okay. Here's what I'm doing. I am since this time last year I've been trying to do Twitter Spaces and like YouTube live streams and shit at the same time. It's been really hard. And then I wrote it down and mapped it and kind of switched some things around. So what I have now is my mic. I'm running the emulator, and I've got my mic running uncompressed directly to the emulator. So you're hearing just pure from the mic, and then the output's going into my audio virtual audio um, manager, and I'm splitting it and essentially packaging it up with my mic again and feeding my mic plus the output from Spaces into the audio manager and then feeding that out as a microphone into StreamYard to push to YouTube. Mm-hmm.
So I'm currently on the road and can't get on the computer
Oh,
at
you don't
this
have to.
point in
I've already
time.
I've recorded all this shit. So like you just have to talk because what I'm gonna do is go back into this and look at the recording. We're gonna look at the broadcast because I've done some testing, and the video should be synced up with my voice right here and the audio that's coming out of Twitter Spaces from the emulator. And then, yeah, see, that makes perfect sense because now it gets wrapped up and pushed out to Twitter or YouTube, Twitch, LinkedIn, and Facebook, um, all synced up without having any audio overlap. And now I can do the fucking YouTube stuff and the Facebook stuff, and I could pull up screenshots and I could talk about things that are happening that I'm doing while I'm in the Twitter space, but I can't show that stuff in the Twitter space. So now I could show that stuff, talk about it, and also talk about it in the Twitter space. I'm excited.
Okay, are you also using the... No, you're not. The stupid Twitter Media Studio.
I use that for other things, but not for spaces. I don't think that you can use it for spaces and doing the live production from it. Um, I just use StreamYard. I used to use it when I was doing just Twitter by itself as a destination, but now that I multi-stream, I just manage it through StreamYard.
Yeah, I was in a space which wasn't really productive for education purposes for what's going on with Solana, an active hack and bonk and all that fun stuff. Last night was crazy listening to individuals that were questioning, their wallets being drained and this and that, and it wasn't necessarily any particular community or wallet. And the only thing that they had in common was people that were in a certain space and someone jumping in on speakers, and I just thinking that there's a certain community that's alive again and having their fun.
Is that what's going on? Is there a certain is that what it is? Is it alive or is it just a bunch of people trying to do the same thing and look for a community that's alive?
No, no, I meant a live community, like the back in the day when they had societies,
When they had what?
hat societies, red hat, black hat, white hat,
Oh,
yellow hat.
got you. Got you. Okay. Um, so yeah, so what's the dealio with all of that? Because I've been trying to figure that out too. I've seen that there's some spaces today. I mean, I don't know. I think that I don't know. I'm not driven by this type of shit. I don't give a fuck about Utes. I don't give a fuck about fucking uh any of this shit. any of it. I really don't. So like, tell me, what am I missing with the bonk?
You're missing nothing.
I
And
know.
whatever other people say, I just enjoy sitting into it because I like to tie together who are the players that are speculating and then try to dive in and figure out, okay, are they potentially blah blah blah. One person, I mean, this is not something that one person can do on their own for sure. Are they that smart? I mean, it's not that smart, but are they? Yeah, it's just that type of stuff. And I'm brain dead because I didn't go to bed until 5 in the morning. I got up early. I had to crash my computer. I was resetting my other devices and that I could have had and been in a space with, and then but the on the topology level of the networks is just coins being distributed in airdrops on Solana with the Bonk network, and all these other weird shit coins and in NFT forms being distributed to wallets. I've even been distributed some of them, and the whole thing is, I'm I am speculating that those are being watched. That just basically takes you as a listener and trying to avoid any wallet action or movement at this time because that's how they'll get you. And people are panicking and trying to pull all their shit out. It's like, don't fucking do anything right now.
So people think that this is like a like it's like a sticker, like when you go out into the yard and you get like some stickers on you. People are thinking this is like a Fed cookie essentially.
I don't know. I don't know. You can pop in with Josh and Alex.
Who
They're just going
is
through.
Alex? Is Alex still in that one talking about it? Because I saw that he was in one earlier.
Yeah, yes, it's the same one, and Josh is just going through going through the Solana scan, Soul scan. It's like, it's if they're as smart as I think they are, I don't believe there will be anything on a Soul scan that will actually incriminate. It's just just going down a fucking rabbit hole, creating more chaos.
Oh my god, and that's the yeah, see, and you were talking you said something earlier that made me think of that. The thing that because I've gone down blockchain rabbit holes. I've done traced fucking accounts, and I found um I found a fucking account last year that like randomly about this time last year, February, randomly bought a Quokka from Mint. And I was like, who was that? You know what I mean? Like, who the fuck is doing that? And so I went and looked and tracked it down and saw that it was like connected to a network of other accounts, and between them they had hundreds of millions of dollars that they were just funneling around in circles, and they were going and buying and interacting with different smart contracts all over the place. And so like it's crazy because you could pick any two or three transactions and be like, oh, this is something. But in reality, it's like there's so many. And again, like I think that's the nature of getting back to like why blockchain is like, at the end of the day, this is the all of these transactions, like that's the minutia of like data, like the way that we process data for our phones, for our bank accounts, for every fucking thing we do is like moving around a ton of fucking data. So when you start looking at every individual transaction on the blockchain, that's like looking at every individual file transfer between people, right? Like you get to a point where you're looking and you could spend hours and hours and hours looking at individual transactions, but you're still only looking at a handful of things that represent a tiny, a little bit of time itself in reality. And when you think about like time itself and you realize that like, man, and how many transactions do you end up analyzing that are being generated programmatically by programs that are running? So it's not even human people touching things and tweaking stuff and entering addresses. It's all being aggregated and it's all programmed. So it's like I feel like that's something that unless you know what you're looking for, you're gonna end up just chasing your fucking tail.
Yeah, yeah, and a lot of it would be just people writing out their own content table,
So that's pretty much it,
doing
right?
manual
That's
entries.
It's just so that's the content. Like that's what the content farms. That's what the Matrix wants us to talk about today.
No, that's what I'm just trying to talk about because the Matrix and everybody's talking about Solana, Bonk, Utes, Frank, the FU. So all the airdrops goes to everybody except for uh, the D gods, all that. And I'm just like, I don't really. I want Magic Eden and what is it? Blockworks posting a screenshot of a private message between Bonk accounts, two different Bonk accounts, and Magic Eden, talk about, oh, they're actually buying this pump and dump and stuff. And it's like, the funny thing is, if someone in a team of hackers really wanted to, I mean, I've seen it last night. I was seeing it. Where people doing complaints like, no, I didn't message you, I didn't do this, and it just doesn't show up on this. They can just do, a hard pass through and write on someone's account behalf without them even having a third app approval. And it's like, why would it be displayed on Twitter? I mean, why would it be on Twitter, these type of conversations? And it's just really sketchy. And I think it's just a bunch of developer, people that are working together for fun, and just, it's an epoch. It's just moving on and trying to figure out how things work. And I don't know. I mean, of course, obviously it's nefarious, but it's not for the purpose of money at all.
Mm-hmm. You don't think so?
No,
What do you think it's for then? Just to get better at developing this kind of shit? Like they're just
I
like
don't think it's not even for developing. It's just because they can. And
so
everything. And
so it's a shit
once it's done,
post. It's a shit post of
pretty
the
much.
project, is what you're telling me.
Once it's done and over with, I'm pretty sure there'll be enough, like, what happened information on, like, all the breaks and stuff, so it can be cleaned up. But I don't think it's. I don't know.
Is this got
I,
a? Is there a with this? Because I'm looking at these liquidity returns right now, or these yield returns. What's the You said that, like, is it based on an epoch, or are these gonna reduce over time on like a sliding scale, like a or what?
I don't know what you mean by that, but I
Because
just think
so
that
like think of like the
to continue.
traditional, like in DeFi, you get certain there's well, okay, so like Anchor and stuff like that promise like a flat rate, or promise like a flat rate 20 over time. But then you had other projects, like in the Curve pool, a lot of those ohm forks that would start out with like, invest for, lock in on an epoch per epoch basis, but start out as early as possible after the program launches, and you get somewhere like, we'll just say like 10,000% APY, and that's like an 8-hour epoch. So like every 8 hours, it resets and it readjusts the APY, and it does that over like a 6 month period. So it starts out high, but over a 6 month, it goes from like 10,000, 15,000, percent APY down to 1%, and then they and then
Well,
the
epoch, I was referencing to epoch doesn't is not really nothing with money, nothing with money, but the variable algorithms of resetting itself doesn't have to reset and start over from zero.
hmm okay. So let me see. Let me look into this here. I'm just gonna start reading this, and this is a test too. So if you're watching on any of the other channels, if you're on Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook, leave a comment. Let me know how it sounds, how it looks. If there's any issues, I would really appreciate it. So let's see. Bonk, a meme token modeled after Shiba Inu, launched on December 25th, skyrocketing. Some traders believe the token's trading volume is potentially driving Solana's price up. Over the past 48 hours, Sol has gained 34%, and this was written 19 hours ago. So this was referencing 24 hours then. So 2 days ago, it gained 34%. It's climbed 117% according to data from CoinMarketCap. Blah, 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 blah. According to the project's website, it's the first dog token on Solana blockchain. Is that a thing now? Is that what we're going for? Is just like certain types of things? But I guess that's always how it is, right? Like you do this, but you do it over there instead. So dog tokens, that's forever the thing now. So next blockchain that pops up that's really big, go make a dog token over there and say you're the first. Initially, 50% of the token supply was airdropped to Solana users with a mission to remove toxic Alameda-style tokenomics. Did I get some? Because I'm a Solana, I'm not going to type my password in right there, but I'm a Solana user. I want some bonk. Did I get bonk? Did I get bonked? Did all the Solana users get bonked or just some Solana users? Do you know the answer, Kit? You still there? Did you leave me? No, she's still there. She's just not talking right now. Let me log into my fucking Solana wallet real quick. Let us see if I got bonked. This is exciting. Let's see. How do I... Where's my soul scan? I'll just go to soul scan. Hopefully, I'm excited. I want bonk just to say that I got bonked. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let's find out. Dot. Nope, I got nothing. I didn't get bonked. I've been using this Solana wallet for well over a year and a half. The fuck. The airdrop resulted in more than $20 million in trading volume. Trading volume according to Solana's decentralized exchange, Orca. I'll pull that up too. I want to jump on Orca. I've never been on it before. Orca crypto, DeFi for people, not for programs. Cool. High yield returns. LPs stand to benefit from interacting with Bonk. LPs are earning over 999% APR, which is much higher than the popular Sol USD coin pairing. Yeah, 900 greater than 999, so 1000% APR for Bonk to Sol LP, and 596 APR for Sol to USDC swaps. While high yield does not always stay high, the current rates show large market demand for Bonk. In addition to the increase for demand, Bonk also burned 1 billion supply on January 3rd. Blockchains like Solana benefit from increased usage. After the collapse, Solana saw multiple projects leaving the ecosystem. On January 4th, it saw an almost 19% increase in 24-hour fees and almost a 16% increase in 24-hour daily active users. Oh, wow. Oh, dude, that's crazy. Just look at the fucking. You can't see the chart here, Kit, but the daily fees, and you could see how the day that Alameda and FTX went down, everything dropped by like 50%. Holy shit, that's bonkers. Haha, bonk. In addition to the fees and daily active user increases, Solana price rallied over $14 on the 4th for the first time since December 14th. Some crypto market participants are attributing the growth to Solana's price action. It's a meme token. The increasing demand is a positive sign for the Solana blockchain. I don't know. I hate this type of shit. I hate the speculative shit. I think it's cool because it attracts attention and it brings people in and it starts a conversation. But at the end of the day, it's not sustainable behavior, and it continues to perpetuate that type of mindfulness degeneracy that exists within the space, where people just jump in, they try to find something that can make them 100x, and then they just degen into it. And it's like, if that's the only reason that you participate in this entire, technological renaissance that we're having, is to try to find something that'll make you 100x, like, is that really what's best for the technological renaissance in itself? That's the question that we got to ask ourselves. I don't think it is. And that's why when I see this kind of stuff and I see people getting exciting about it, it kind of just like kills me, because I'm like, oh, damn. And sure, people say like, well, isn't this what you want? Like, no banks and making money, and without having to deal with the normal regulated centralized way of doing it. And it's like, yeah, that's what it's about. But like, this kind of stuff doesn't ever benefit anybody except the small group of people that go to create it and the handful of people that they get in ahead of time. Like, and that's what I mean. It sucks, but like that's the Ponzi-nomics of like most crypto projects, in my opinion. So like, do I expect to see anything sustainable coming out of this? Not at all. You know what I mean? Like maybe the only positive sustainable thing is the camaraderie that's going to come from it from the people in the community that end up getting rug pulled over time. It's not necessarily going to be a rug pull in the way that we use the term, in the sense that they're going to run off with all of the money, but it's going to be a slow rug. It's going to be a soft one in the sense that there's going to be, just like you said, some action right now, people doing it for the sake of doing it, but eventually the people that are running it, the devs, they're going to stop giving a shit about it, and they're going to stop, at the best case scenario, they're going to stop giving a shit about it, and the worst case scenario is they're going to actually do some shit, or something will happen that's sketchy. So I don't know. It's whatever. That's where I'm at with it. Oh my god. Rant over.
I am going to take a leave. I have a client I gotta attend to that's arrived,
We'll tell your client I said what's
and
up.
I will. They were listening to you rant for that little bit and said another podcast. I'm like, no, just someone testing out their new toy.
Their new setup.
But
It's an old toy, new
mm-hmm.
setup. Yeah. Well, go do your thing. And I'll see you on Monday. Appreciate you. Have a good weekend. Later. I'm gonna go listen to this now. This should be enough testing. Thank you for helping me out. All right. And then whoever's on Twitch watching me, you are a real awesome person. I appreciate you. But I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna listen to this. I'm gonna tweak it around, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side.